Welcome to IRL, a podcast about immersion, realities, life, and everything in between.
As we both work in tech, we thought it'd be a fun idea to break down how tech has evolved throughout our lives.
Every week, we'll talk about a topic's past, present, and future. My name is Anthea.
And my name is Matthew. So what are we going to be talking about this week?
We're talking about travel.
Wow! Is that why where is it? New York?
Yes. New
Wow.
York.
The Big Apple.
Yes.
So did you go to New York recently? Is that why the background is New York?
Yeah. So I was actually in New York recently, and I think this was like was it my first? No. My first few trips after COVID.
Okay.
Like officially after COVID. And I think New York changed a lot. Have you been to New York?
So I went during COVID, so I want to hear what you have to say about it before and after.
So the last time I went was before COVID, and that was when I was in elementary.
Okay.
And then it was really nice. The city was really busy. It wasn't as smelly as I remembered.
Okay.
But this time it was really bad. Like it smelled really bad on the street, and it was still really packed and busy. But there was a lot of homeless people.
Yes.
The train smelled bad. The street smelled bad. It wasn't as nice as I remembered.
Because people talk about the allure of New York, right? Like how bright and how amazing it is. But when I went during COVID, so it might have been different. But I had the same vibe as you. Like everything was smelly. Everything was kind of depressing. It felt like it lost its glow. Because I've only been once, and the one time I went was during COVID, so I don't know what it was like prior to it.
So you were wearing a mask and all that?
Yeah, I was wearing a mask, but what I saw was, because in the movies or in popular media, you see it being very bright and flamboyant and all of that. But when I went, it was just very low energy. It seemed like a hurt city.
Were there a lot of tourists?
No, there actually weren't a lot of tourists. Because I think it was during COVID, so I went kind of low-key at the peak of COVID, or right when the peak was just about dropping off.
Okay.
So everyone wasn't really traveling, especially to America, because COVID was really bad there. And I remember I didn't get to explore New York as much because I got COVID the second day I was there. So I actually missed out on a lot of, I guess the beauty of New York, maybe. So the first day I went to Brooklyn and check out the Brooklyn Bridge and stuff, and then at nighttime I went to catch a Brooklyn Nets game, and it was versus the Sixers, the Philadelphia Sixers, and because of COVID, the players didn't play either, so it was just
the players didn't play either.
Yeah, because during COVID, if you get COVID, you kind of you can't play in the games, right?
Okay, yeah.
So the players didn't play, so it was I think for me, my experience in New York was definitely very muted because of the situation with COVID. So it's interesting to hear that even after COVID, it's kind of the same. Do you think it's because maybe when you went as a kid, you went with your parents or whatever, and it made it seem a little bit happier and brighter?
I think that might be the case. And I think as a kid, you don't really notice homeless people. I can't really say that, but you're just so overstimulated by all the billboards and screens and stuff. So it was a really nice experience. But then I think as you get older, you notice the dirty area or the smelly area, or I even witnessed a store getting robbed. I think it was a Nike store or something. Or
For real?
Yeah, and then I was just walking on the Fifth Avenue. You know Fifth Avenue,
No.
right? Okay, it's a shopping street,
Okay.
and then. Literally, it was super crowded too. There was a lot of people, and then this guy just came screaming. It was like get him, something like that. And then it was
a shoplifting kind of.
Shoplifting, yeah. And then the security guard, I guess he wasn't strong enough. He got pushed down onto the ground.
Wait, that's crazy.
Yeah.
In the middle of the day?
Yeah, and there was a lot of people.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, and I was well, wow. I was I was shocked to see that in person. Yeah.
Was there a lot of good food though? Because the thing that I missed out on was the pizza. Because I heard New York pizza is really good, and I was really excited.
I think it's decent. I mean, yeah, it's good, but
Do you think it's changed throughout the years?
I didn't have it when I was little.
Oh, you didn't have it, okay.
Yeah, but I think it's not bad. But I wouldn't say it's I don't know if I should say this, but it's not amazing.
Really? Okay. Because like I heard like apparently it's like the water that they use
That make it better.
Yeah. The water makes it like much better. Apparently, I mean, this is like maybe a myth, but like you know how America has their like pizza beef, like their pizza rivalries.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, the New York pizza is the best because of like the water they use or whatever. So I was always very excited to try the pizza, like the $1 a slice pizza, cheese pizza kind of.
Ones.
Yeah, but so was there good food there at least, like in New York?
I think food was just like good overall.
Okay.
Yeah.
So nothing that like stood out.
Yeah.
Because for me, I travel like I really don't care about the scenery or like the picture taking places. I'm like I travel for food. So like there's a lot of like those like delis that I want to try out. Like I think it's called like 𝐂𝐡𝐞𝐬𝐤 Deli or something like that in New York that I really want to try out because it just seems amazing. There's just some pizza places that I want to like stop by. So for me, New York was always like an eating destination for me at least. Okay, well, so what was like the highlight of your New York trip?
I think one of the highlights was because you know how in New York, no one cares about what you're doing. Mm-hmm. You don't have to worry about other people looking at you or judging you.
Yeah.
So what I did one day was I was just on the street wearing my earphones and I just started singing.
Like just out of the blue singing?
Yeah, I was just like in the mood and it was like, oh, I really like the song.
So you feel like you can be yourself in New York? Like you can just express whatever you want to express?
Not that I can be myself. It's more like I don't care about how other people sees me. Or like I don't care if people judge me because I know no one's looking at me.
Okay, because everyone's like busy, like the hustle and bustle of the city. Everyone's doing their thing.
And then there's just so many crazy people on the street. I'm just one of them. Or not crazy, but like a lot of people sing when they walk or like when they bike on the street in just America in general.
Yeah, it's an expressive place.
So I just felt like, you know, no one's going to care and I'm singing a Chinese song. They won't understand the lyrics. Mm-hmm. So it's okay. So that was like the highlight. 'Cause I was like, I cannot do this like
anywhere else kind of.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But what about you? Where was the last trip you went on?
So I went to Japan. And that was amazing.
Or where did you go in Japan?
I went to Tokyo in Japan. So I went for 7 days only. But like, I just want like their technology is like kind of out of this world. Like I feel like they have like every like store has like an R&D department that like tries out like new technologies and like they like implement it into everything.
Do you have an example?
I have hella examples. So like you know. Like at Family Mart, right? Or like at convenience stores, right? They have like hot food, right? Mm-hmm. Everywhere has hot food, right? Cool. But their food is like extra good. Like it tastes fresh, like freshly fried. And I don't really know how they do that, right? Because obviously, you know, like the food section in a convenience store is like only, you know, 10%, right? They got to do other things. So it's definitely not fried fresh, but it tastes extremely fresh. And I think it has to do with their heating system because like all of the hot food is in like a compartment.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they get their heating system to like get the food to maintain its freshness.
Oh, okay.
But it is like everything just tastes like it was like freshly fried and whatever. And obviously, first day there, I go down the hot foods like compartment. I was like, I want this, and this, right? I literally try everything. They have like this is where the R&D comes in. They have like ramen flavored like fried like popcorn chicken balls, and it's like it literally tastes like ramen on the outside, and it's not just like seasoning. It's like baked into the crust, right? Yeah. And then like you know whatever, everything's good, and then their corn dog, right? Their corn dog was trash. But what really got me is that they have a ketchup and mustard squeezy packet.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
And it's all in one pack, right?
And your hands, it's to keep your hands from being dirty, right?
Well, they have that everywhere, right? Like in Australia, they have a ketchup packet and a mustard packet where you squeeze it like this. No,
but then if you squeeze it like that, you can still get your hands dirty.
Yeah. So
the design of the package can still get your hands dirty.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but I feel like the ones in Japan, like the way you squeeze it prevents your hands from touching it at all. Or like
okay, that's fair. I actually didn't really notice that, but I think you're right. Okay. But like, so they have in Australia, we have mustard packets and ketchup packets, and they're plastic, and then you squeeze them like this, and then the sauce comes out here.
Yeah,
right?
but you have to rip them open, right?
No, it's a squeezy packet. Yeah, but in Japan, their mustard and ketchup is in the same packet. So it's half and half, right? And when you mix mustard and ketchup, it becomes like a weird consistency, right? So they don't do that. So it's in one, like the mustard is in one half and the ketchup is in the other half. And when it comes out, their end has a swirly thing, so it comes out looking like a swirl.
Yeah, a good mix.
Like that technology is insane for someone to like spend money on like perfecting a ketchup and mustard like.
But would you call that technology?
Packet?
Isn't that more of a design?
You're right, but technology and design, I feel like, are the same, right? Where you have to have technology to be able to design all of these crisp things, right? So that was like insane to me. Like that blew my first thing down. I land and then I see this like ketchup thing. I'm just like, oh, we're in a different world. Like this is like 10 years down the line, right?
I think for me, when you talk about like technology in Japan, I was thinking more of like the vending machines. You know how they have like crazy vending machines?
Yeah. They also have those, yeah, right? The ones that make the drinks on the spot.
Yeah, like coffee or like ice creams or other hot foods.
Yeah.
Like I think that's the crazy technology in Japan.
Well, I think there was a lot, right? The other thing that really got me was like at Uniqlo. Because Uniqlo, you normally go and you buy a lot of like clothes, right? So like, you know, like at H&M, you probably get a lot of clothes, and then they have to spend so much time scanning each product, right? Like, you know, socks, scan. Oh, 10 pairs. Okay, 10 pairs, put them on the side.
I think they have that in other stores too, though. And I think I know what you're talking about, like putting it inside like a box, right?
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
scans
yeah.
everything. Because like, I think they have it in the States too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Uniqlo though.
Oh,
and then, but
okay.
for Taiwan, they have it at Zara, where you just throw everything in and it pretty much scans everything.
Yeah, well, I don't know. For me, like I've only seen it at this Japanese Uniqlo store where I literally just grab clothes, right? Because it's like so cheap. I just grab so many clothes, and then also their clothes are like super, like they've got heat tech and they've got heat tech, which is which
and cool tech,
which maintains the heat. And then I forgot the name. Cool Tech, is it?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's something. They have a different name, but it like kind of it like keeps the coldness in. It like makes you feel really cool. So they've got like 3 different. They've got like so many different clothes, and they got 3 different types, like heat tech, the cooling one, and the normal one. And it's just way ahead of its time. Yeah. And you get whatever clothes you want, right? Sorry, I was going back to what I was saying. You get whatever clothes you want. And you just put it in, and then you give it to them, and they just scan the outside of the shopping cart or trolley or whatever, and it just calculates everything that you have, and then you just pay. And for me, that really like just blew my mind. And I think for me, what I was saying was like the little things, they really like get everything down very well. Like with ramen, like, you know, when you're like trying to pour out the soup, they have this like noodle catching kind of compartment.
Really?
Yeah,
I know that.
Yeah, so like, you know, like right now, right, like, you know, we make some ramen, and then you have to like open up the package, and then when you pour the soup out, you have to kind of do that thing with your spoon or chopsticks, where you just go like this, right? But with that, there's like a net that catches your noodles, so you can get the soup out and keep the noodles back in. Like for me, it's like those little things that really make Japan, for me, like kind of like the leader of tech or the leader of design, because I think those things kind of blend together, right? And this other thing I saw was like at a glasses store, right? There's literally a machine where you can stand in front of it and start the machine and just look at it, and then you can pick glasses that can like drag and drop. So like you know, like these glasses stores in Japan, they have hella models, right? They've got like 200 like types of different glasses. So you can kind of just input the number of the glasses. Like each of the stars has a number, and you input the number, and then it will like magically like just put it on your face. So you can like try them on. Yeah. Okay. It's like a screen, and you can it'll like scan your face, and then you can just keep on trying on different glasses. Because, you know, like maybe it's also because of COVID. Like they don't want you to keep on trying things on.
You want to keep
so
it
like
clean.
yeah, so like like that kind of eliminates the whole hassle of like picking which one and like doing all of that, and what was most like prominent for me was like the VR/VTubing culture there.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like everywhere, because like in America, in Australia, when I walk around with a VR headset on, or like when I'm at a cafe with a VR headset on, it's like, I don't want to say embarrassing, but I feel like a sense of like, oh, like no one's doing it. Like I'm the only person doing it.
But what are you using? Like, what are you doing with your headset in a coffee shop?
So I'm kind of just watching videos, right? Because I was on vacation, so I didn't really work. So I was kind of just watching YouTube videos, just kind of chilling.
You just watch it on your phone?
I think for me, it's more immersive, right? Like I get to have the screen in front of me.
Why don't you just do it at home?
Well, because I was traveling, right?
Like, why don't you just do it in a hotel?
Because like sometimes I'm outside and I kind of want to take a break, right? Because like for me in Japan or in Australia, when you're walking a lot, you kind of want to take a break. And when I'm at a cafe, I kind of want to relax, right? So I like get my drink or whatever, and then like I put on a VR headset.
Isn't it heavy to carry your headset around?
I have a Vive XR and it's just kind of lightweight. So
okay.
yeah. So I was at the cafe, right? And then I was just seeing like not a lot of people, but like the VR culture is large enough that people had VR headsets on and kind of just like they were just using it in a cafe. Yeah.
In Japan?
Yeah, it's so cool. So for me, I was like, oh, I guess it's okay here. So like, yeah, I kind of sat down, put it on and chilled for like 30 minutes. Pretty cool. Yeah. And like for me, I think what I saw was that VR was everywhere. Like they had like VR amusement parks in most of the city places that I went to. So these places like similar to like Viveland, like the place, like Viveland, where this place I think was called Tefonium, where they had a bunch of like these game or these experiences that you could purchase, right? And then I had a little bit of time to kill because I went with my friend and my friend was looking at cameras, right? So I was like, okay, well, like, let me go check out this place. And I went into one of them and it was called Kaiju Hunters or something like Kaiju Hunter. And it was kind of like a Monster Hunter, like, but in the city, right? Like you were kind of walking around the city and there were these big like monsters kind of like rampaging the city and you could kind of like experience all of that around you. Yeah. They had like really old headsets though. So that was kind of, it was like the Vive Pro.
Okay.
I mean, it still worked fine, but for me, it was like, oh, like I didn't know that this has been around for so long, because for me, like VR amusement parks started coming out, these few years. So that was really like kind of crazy for me. And there was another place I think called Tokyo Red or like the Tokyo Red Tower or something. I really wanted to go because they had a VR treadmill, which is really cool because that way you can walk around, right? Like you could put on the headset and then you could play like these like intense games where you'd run around in game but not move. Because for me, like when I have the headset on, there's still a little bit of fear that when I walk, I'm gonna hit something. So I think that treadmill experience was really cool, but I didn't get to try it. And the other place that I kind of wanted to go is I think it's called like Tree by Naked.
Okay.
It's like a fine dining, so there's always a name by whoever, you know what I mean? And it was a VR kind of culinary experience where there are I think like a few dishes, like 8 dishes or like and drinks too. And there's like it's an art exhibition plus fine dining, so there's like food going on while this amazing like art like immersive experience is going on around you. And I think like maybe you put on a VR headset halfway through or whatever. I wanted to try it, but it was too expensive. It was like $250, and I didn't really want to pay that. But that is on my list whenever I get rich. But yeah, so for me, like in Japan, that VR essence is like everywhere, and it was just really cool for me.
But why would you bring your VR headset around? Like I'm curious.
Yeah. So I actually had to film some content at the airport for work. Yeah. Okay. So like just some shots of the Vive XR and stuff. So I kind of brought it with me.
So you use it as work and also relaxation.
Yeah. Cause like, I'm not going to bring my laptop or whatever around.
Isn't it lighter to bring a laptop?
I don't like bringing my laptop on these events, right? Like on these traveling experiences. So I like to bring my VR headset because that way I can play too. Right?
And the controllers?
Yeah, the controllers are fine.
And the battery packs?
Yo, I mean, it comes in a box, right? Like I keep everything.
Bring the whole box?
Yeah, it's just in my backpack. She doesn't believe me.
Okay, because hear me out. The reason why I'm asking this is because I bring it with me when I travel too, but I don't bring it when I go out. So I use it okay, let's say I'm in New York and if my hotel does not have a gym, I would use my VR headset to work out, the Les Mills workout.
Like in the room?
In the room, yeah.
Cool, yeah.
And then I also have like weekly meetings or like hangouts and VRChat with my friends.
You have a weekly hangout thing?
Yeah. And so like, but then like I use that in the hotel because like I think, because in my opinion, I think there's better connection or more stable connection.
Yeah.
As opposed to being in a coffee shop.
For sure,
right?
yeah.
And so like that's why I'm like questioning you because like for me, it's like, wow, I think it is portable. I don't think it's portable enough for me to want to carry it around in the city.
For sure, yeah. I think for me, it's very dependent on where I am, right? Like if I'm in Australia, I tend to not bring it around as much because like you said, the connection issues, right? But for me in Japan, like their connection was smooth as gold. And the thing is, I was staying in like Airbnbs and I didn't really like to keep my valuables just lying around, right? So like on the days when I know that I'm just traveling a little bit, like not walking too much, I would bring like my headset with me because I have just like a backpack, right? So I kind of bring it along with me. And when I rest, obviously most of the time I'm just on the phone. But like that day, right, like at the cafe, I was like, holy crap, like people actually just like these VR headsets are kind of machines for the outside world, right? Because for me, like in my head, it's always been more of an indoors, like at home at your hotel room kind of thing. But in Japan, it was like people are actually taking it out. Granted, it's just at a cafe, but for me, that's like already a big step in like the right direction, right? Like making VR kind of accessible anywhere. So wait, but I'm very curious about these hangouts or parties or whatever. So like you have these weekly meetings with friends. What is that like? Because like for me, I would love to join those like hangout thingies because that does sound very fun, right? Like, so what do you guys do in these?
We go to like VRChat, VRChat, right? It's an application and like it's a VR application, and they have a lot of different worlds.
Yeah.
So we would play games, we would explore different worlds. It's just a very casual, like fun event.
So like kind of every week you guys pick out a few worlds to go explore and stuff?
Yeah.
Whoa, how many people?
Less than 20.
Damn, that's huge. Okay. And like what's been the best world? Because I haven't gone to explore VRChat much.
I don't think there is like a best world. It's just that it's really dependent on who you're hanging out with, right? It's when we play games when it's like the most.
What kind of games are there?
Among Us.
Yeah. I was gonna ask because I saw that online and that seemed really fun.
I think they have like some like exploring games where you have like kind of like escape rooms.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so like there were like clues on the walls and stuff, and you have to
stuff like that. They also have like the travel destination themes, like take you to Japan, or take you to Paris, or like a city in somewhere in Europe or country in Europe. Yeah. So we would do that too. Like pretend we're in Japan. Like I think VRChat was like a really good platform during COVID.
Yeah.
When there was like a lot of lockdown. And then like it was like a good alternative for traveling. Yeah.
So I was that actually does kind of bring us into the thing I want to talk about, which is like I think VR traveling, like what you said, is probably the next step in the future, because I think during COVID, like we were all stuck in one place and I really wanted to go out and stuff.
Yeah.
And like you said, like traveling in VRChat must have been really cool, right?
Yeah, like it was, I have to clarify though. I think while it was cool, it was not a replacement. Like I think what it did for me was, let's say I went to Japan, or like Tokyo and VRChat.
Yeah.
It made me really want to go to Japan.
Like the real thing.
The real thing, yeah. And like it's so like as I was saying, it's definitely not a replacement. It's more of a I don't know how to say this, but it makes me.
It scratches the itch, but it doesn't make the itch go away. Kind of.
Yeah, and I think it motivates me to actually go. Like there was actually a study on this. I think this was done in 2023, but like researchers, they were doing like surveys with on people who have done like VR travel apps or like played games in VR. Yeah. VR apps, VR like such as VRChat, right? And then they went to like different cities, countries, and explored in like an immersive setting. And then after they experienced the game or whatever they were doing, they showed that they have more like motivation, or they really like it really influenced them wanting to go to that city.
So it made them more interested in traveling to that location. Okay, yeah. So that might be the future of advertising, right? Like marketing. Like right? Because you could easily market.
No, because like I don't know if you tried this, but it's called internal Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Like in Paris, right? You know, in 2019 or 19 or 18, where there was a fire. Yeah. And it destroyed like a lot of like parts of the building, the architecture. And then I think it was Vive Arts that worked with Orange, which is like a company in Paris. Oh. They developed like a experience where you wear the headset and it takes you on a trip into
the Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, yeah. And then it takes you even like it tells you the history and why it was built, how it was built, and what it looked like before and after. Right. So it was like a good
before and after the fire, or
before before it was built. Like what it was like before and after. Yeah. And then like it was a good experience for people who have never seen it and can't see it anymore, right? Because it's currently being rebuilt right now. And what they did well was that by paying the tickets to go see the experience, they take 30% in helping the reconstruction.
Oh, okay. So you get to experience it and you get to help them rebuild it.
Yeah. And then so I did that experience. And for me, like I went to Paris before, and unfortunately this was after the fire. And so I did pass by the building. And then I was like, I really, really like after seeing the experience, the VR experience, I really wanted to see it in person as well. But I think it was like a good like alternative than the real thing.
I think you mentioned something very interesting. It's that when you went after the fire, you wish that you could have seen it, right? Like you wish you could have went in to see it. Yeah. And I think VR might be a use case for VR travel. It's where you can kind of capture a moment in time, and when the technology is there, you can go and relive it to its like full purpose or like its full beauty. Because I think right now the world is changing so fast, right? Like, on Google Maps, like you can go and you're like, oh, this building's not here anymore. Yeah. So like, I think VR could be like kind of like a snapshot of the whole world.
Yeah. The crazy thing was the scanning for the VR experience for Notre Dame was actually like decided before the fire happened. Like obviously they weren't anticipating the fire. You know what I'm saying?
Really? So
So they did all the scanning. Like they were actually done scanning before the fire. So they actually had that chance to like build that experience for people. And it was like a very popular VR experience for a lot of tourists as well. Or like for French people, it's like remnants, like the building, like it was like this before. Like, even though it's like burnt, but we can still kind of re-see it again.
That's crazy. So like if they didn't scan it, this project probably might not have happened, right?
No, it would have happened, but I feel like it wouldn't have such a big impact. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Probably wouldn't have been as detailed and stuff either, right?
Well, I don't know.
Because you would have to scan the inside pre-fire.
They did.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But if they didn't do the scanning pre-fire, then it probably wouldn't have been as accurate.
Yeah,
right?
which was crazy because like obviously no one was anticipating this fire, right? Unless someone set it on fire. But like it was just crazy how it just all really like worked out.
Yeah. Wait, was it? Oh, you said something interesting. Did someone set it on fire?
I don't know what happened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I think what's interesting was like when I saw the news of the building like on fire, I was like, oh, that sucks. But period, right? Like it didn't make me be like, oh, how could like, oh gosh.
Oh, how could you know?
Sorry. Like what I remember, like in 2019 when I saw the news of Notre Dame getting like burnt, I was like, oh yeah, that sucks. But like I wasn't like, oh, like I missed my chance of seeing it in person. Like I didn't feel that at all. But I think after the VR experience, it made me really want to see it in person.
Yeah, like it seems like as you said, based on the studies and also your personal experiences, like when you see this place in VR, it kind of makes you want to go to the place. And like that could honestly be the future of like like I said, advertising, like going to these places. Because
it's like an influencer in a sense. Like it's influencing you and wanting to like do something or go somewhere or see something. Yeah,
because I remember like I think a few months ago, I think 6 or 7 months ago, I saw this news about this metaverse city being built on a platform, but it's supposed to be like a one-to-one rendition of the city, and I think it was like in Scotland or something. I don't know, I'll have to like look it up. But like they were doing that to promote their city, and literally like as you said, like maybe like this is the future, because like you could go into the metaverse, or you could go into VR and like kind of check out these like Japan, Europe, wherever you want to go, and then it'll make you kind of like it'll pull you to there, right? Yeah. Because you want to see it in person.
Yeah, and then like Vive Arts, they also worked with Louvre, the Museum Louvre.
Yeah,
you know, the biggest museum in Paris, right? They did the Mona Lisa. It's called Mona Lisa Beyond the Glass. So it's basically an experience where you get to learn about the history of Mona Lisa, and you get to kind of see the painting. I can't say in person, but it's like realistic enough that you feel like you are there in person. Because I don't know if you've been to the Louvre, but like the line from Mona Lisa is crazy.
Oh,
like
really?
Hella crazy.
You have to line up to see it?
Yeah. Like it's like it's in the museum. Yeah. It's in a glass box, and then there's like these like lines, and you have to take turns to take pictures.
Is it that cool though? What do you think?
Well, there are people saying that it's a fake painting because they're afraid of someone stealing it, or like even with the glass box, right? But
if it's a fake painting, then why have the real one when people can't enjoy it? That's just a
theory, though. Like,
you know what I mean?
But Lou said it's real. We're not going to question them.
We're the sounds like you really respect the Louvre.
Yeah, because it was a project between Louvre and Vive Arts.
Okay.
Yeah. And like for someone who actually visited Louvre before and did the experience as well, I would say that it's definitely not a replacement, because I think seeing it in person is definitely cool. Like, still like amazing, right? But I think with the VR experience, you learn more about the history, right? And
there's more, right?
There's more to it. And when they're explaining the history, it changes like scenes. Instead of just wearing a earphone and looking at the painting, which is not a bad thing too. But like the VR experience gives you like a more in-depth visual experience.
Yeah, no, for me, that sounds like more my thing. But wait, first off, did the eyes really move when you like...
I couldn't really move because there's so many people.
Oh, because see, man, that sucks. I want to see it in VR. Okay, so this is my thing, right? I don't understand why people go line up for these like experiences, because it's such a waste of time. In my opinion, you know, everyone's right, but I'm righter. Like, why would you stand in line and just for a painting and just look at it and be like, all right, I'm done? Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's because there's a lot of history to the painting.
Okay, but I can do it in VR. No, but I can even get more information in VR.
That's true, but like VR is not a replacement. I would say it's an additional tool or like an alternative, but it's not a replacement.
Do you think one day it might be a replacement when tech is there?
It depends.
Okay.
It really depends. Because like I think no matter what, and at the end of the day, we still really prefer to experience a lot of things in person.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. So yes, if technology advances to a certain extent where we can have our consciousness experience it, sure, maybe. But I think for now, it's definitely just an alternative, not a replacement.
Okay, no, that's interesting.
Yeah.
For me, I actually have a question for you. It's like, what? Because for me, I travel for food. so I went to Japan and I just, food. Oh, I guess I'll go check out the shrines, or I guess I'll go check out these places in person. And I go check it out. That's cool. Oh, it's lunchtime. Time to go get some food. So I think for me, and I've actually talked to a few people, they travel for food. Like obviously, it's not just food, right? It's also the vibes, the environment, the atmosphere, right? But food was for sure the highlight for me. But I'm just wondering, like for you, what is the highlight when you travel, right?
I think for me, it's definitely the scenery.
The scenery, okay.
The buildings. Because like I like taking pictures.
Okay.
And so like I care about the aesthetic. So if this city is not aesthetic, which I will not name a city right now. But
Okay.
But like if the city is not aesthetic, I would not go.
Okay, no, that's fair.
So like I enjoy going to Paris.
Yeah.
I enjoyed New York, yeah, it's smelly, but to be honest, like it's still pretty.
It is a beautiful city.
It still has its own beauty, yeah.
It's a beautiful city, yeah.
And like yeah, so like when I was in Paris, I just went crazy with like all the buildings. Like Eiffel Tower, I just like stood in front of it. Yeah, it's literally a metal like architecture.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
it's like literally a piece of metal. But
it's grand.
But it's amazing.
Beautiful. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. And so for me, it's something the scenery, which is why I think VR cannot be a replacement to travel.
Because, yeah, so for me, like VR tourism, VR travel, I think it is already nearly there for me because I don't think I see the art in aesthetics or in as much as you do. So like I appreciate the view of this specific landmark that I'm looking at and I'm like, oh great, so like I think I would be closer to VR tourism than you would, because I actually do think that VR tourism it is something that I want to try out, because like you want me to fly all the way to like Europe and check out all of these castles and stuff? Like that's so far and it's so cold and like all of these. I think
you're just someone who can't appreciate art.
Exactly. The art in food I can there, right? So like for me, I think VR tourism is closer personally than I think, because I would want to put on a VR headset and just travel to these places in my couch, And obviously when I want to try the food, I would have to fly there. But like to just kind of get a taste or like get a view of what Europe is like, just put on a headset, pop it on and check it out, and then go get some food after.
Fair. But actually I feel like, I don't know, like there was another Vive Arts project with Orsay, the Museum Orsay. It's also in Paris.
Oh no, I don't know.
It's another
Orsay. Okay. Sure. You could just make it up and I'd be like, oh cool, tell me more.
Anyways.
Orsay. Okay.
So Vive Arts also, with Louvre, that was the first one, right? The Mona Lisa. And then with Orsay, they're known for having a lot of Van Gogh's painting.
Whoa.
Do you know who that is?
I do. The earless man.
Yes.
Yes, I do know.
What's his most famous painting?
The Starry Night.
Okay. Anyways, so they did like a VR experience with Orsay. And so it was actually inside the museum. There was like a section where before you visit the exhibition, there was a new specific expo of Van Gogh's last paintings. Like, so it was like his last month before he passed away. Or before he, right? Sorry, before he unalived himself.
Yeah, very TikTok of you. Before, okay.
Yeah, anyway,
you gotta make some money.
So
right?
it was before he like unalived himself, and then it was like his last like few hundred paintings, like 100 something paintings.
So cool.
And then what you experience in the VR headset is they walk you through like where they kind of just go through like what he was going through. Like he was becoming like he was kind of mentally ill.
He was going a little cray-cray?
He was going cray-cray, yeah. And then it was just taking you through his like art pieces. You get to like be inside his art pieces. And then after it was like a 10
crazy.
20 minute experience. And after you're done, you actually like go visit the exhibition, right? You see these paintings in person. And then it's like, so you're like taking the stuff you've learned and then digesting it while looking at the painting.
The VR experience is before the actual exhibit.
Yes.
So you get the story first.
Yes.
Whoa.
There's a lot.
That's cool. That's cool. Wait. That's actually okay. That is something that I wanted. That's really cool.
I think that was a very smart way.
Yeah, because it's adding an element like the Notre Dame thing. It's adding elements to the art, right? Like it's adding elements to the museum experience. Yeah. Did you get to try that out? Because that sounds absolutely like crazy to me.
Yeah. So like I think after I think for me, I remember because it got really crowded, so I had to walk through the exhibition first, then experience the VR.
Oh, so you got it flipped around.
Yeah. So I mean, can't really say it doesn't affect, but I think it would have definitely been better if I tried the headset first.
The right way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Were the pictures like good though? Because like, I mean, if he was going a little mentally ill, then the pictures might have been a little wonky, right?
I think that's where the art comes in. Like if it's wonky, then it's like
wonky is art.
Yeah.
I see. Did you like them? Like, did you like the paintings?
Yes, I think I liked it, but it was kind of sad, right? Because like those like the last few pieces of drawing he did before.
Yeah, no, that's kind of dark, but interesting. Okay, maybe I should go to the 𝐬𝐸𝐴𝐧𝐬𝐸. Is that how you say it?
𝐬𝐸𝐴𝐧𝐬𝐸.
Yeah, maybe I should go there. That sounds cool.
Okay, I feel like with technology advancing and evolving, like I wonder if there's a chance, like such as anime and like swords arts online, where we can have our conscious be somewhere else while our body is still here.
So like tourism, I keep using the word tourism, but like traveling away while your body is still here, kind of.
Like
that would be cool.
Because the reason why I'm thinking about this is because, sustainable traveling, right? Like we know how planes, they burn a lot of fuels. Yeah. And it's just not good for the earth.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not sustainable.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not sustainable. But then we shouldn't stop people from, from exploring. Yeah. And so I'm like wondering if technology can advance to a point where our consciousness can just be somewhere else while our body is here. Yeah.
Like full on, like where you can interact with the spaces.
Yeah, and you can still eat the food.
Yeah. The food is the food. Okay, now I'm interested.
Right? It's like so like the anime, right? Yeah. Sword art online where I don't know, do they eat there? Because I didn't watch the whole anime.
They eat, but I really forget if they taste it, but like no, they do eat.
Like I think if technology can advance to a point where you can like even taste the stuff, taste the food, and like
I'd be skinny.
You can actually see like all these buildings, these like cool architectures or like museums in person, but it's just your consciousness being there. I don't know.
But in a way, what is in person though, right? Because person is kind of your body. So in my head, the next step to moving your consciousness there, I think is VR, right? Because when I put on a headset and it takes me to the Louvre, my consciousness is there, right? Like I get to see, obviously it's not as grandiose and it's it doesn't, I don't think VR can capture the atmosphere, the environment yet. But I think one day it can.
Yeah.
Or maybe it can. I hope it can. Because I think that right there is what I want in life. Like what I want with VR is for me to be able to go to these places and be completely immersed, like complete immersion where like, wow, like this is like the security guards looking at me. Like I better not touch. You know what I mean? Like I want everything, the whole package where my consciousness is in another country while I'm sitting here. Like that sounds really cool. That reminds me, when I was in high school, we did this thing where we had like the computer lab, right?
Yeah.
And a group of my friends, we would gather around one computer and then we type in our like address, like our childhood home and what it's like now. And we could go back and kind of see, like, I would type in my address and we would see like the neighborhood, my friend would. And like, imagine doing that in VR. Like, imagine just putting on a bunch of headsets with your friends and be like, let's go.
It's like traveling, right? Traveling through time.
Yeah. Like, let me take you back here.
Time traveling.
Yeah. And the closest thing to that is, there's an app called Wanda that actually lets you do that. So it takes data from Google Earth.
Data.
Like Google Maps or whatever.
Data.
Yeah. It takes data and then it lets you like kind of go there and then in VR, right? So you stand there and you can get to see like the environment around you. And they have a time machine feature where you can go back in the years. And like that just like your story there just hit me. Like imagine, or I'm imagining if I was like that kid, I didn't have to be in a computer lab. We could just put on VR headsets and literally I could tour him around like my childhood home and like kind of check out the neighborhood. Like that just sounds amazing to me. I think that's where VR and travel will intersect because that's just beautiful for me. Yeah. Like, but what you're also talking about sustainable traveling. And I think that's very important because do you know about, there was this guy on Twitter that was, I think he had like the travel logs or like the travel data of
Elon
of
or
every
Taylor?
Celebrity flying around
I see.
the world and like how much like emissions or whatever that was like how much harm it was causing the earth. And like that kind of hit me. Like every year I travel maybe twice, you know, like 2 plane trips, right? These clowns do it like 80 times a year and it's a private jet. They're doing it themselves.
Wasn't Taylor Swift called out for doing a concert in Tokyo and then she flew back for what's her boyfriend's name?
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce's game, right? She flew back for his game and then she flew to like another Asian country to perform. Yes,
but I think that was for the Super Bowl maybe, and I'm sorry, but I'll give her a pass on that one. But like all of these like you know, like these millionaires just flying around, like how much harm is that causing our world? So like literally, like if they can do these meetings, whatever rich people stuff they're doing, if they can do these meetings on a VR headset, that could solve the problems, right?
Well, I was thinking it might not even be a VR headset. You might just be lying there and then you connect something to your head.
Oh, and then you go there.
Yeah.
You go there. Maybe you have a body there too.
That's what I was thinking too.
Like a robotic body, right?
Yeah, like you can rent.
Oh crap! Body. This is scary. Yeah.
It is scary, but like
dystopian stuff.
Yeah, dystopian. Like okay, Black Mirror, and we're listening to this, but like it's such a good episode. Like it's such a good episode. It's such like a good idea. Well, not good idea. Such a cool.
You know, it's a great idea, and that's why Black Mirror. If you steal it, I will sue you.
No, but like
yes, continue.
Like it's actually like interesting, right? It's like
it's crazy.
It's a business model.
Yeah, like renting. If you traveling for maybe just some meeting, some quick stuff, you could just rent a body there and
then transfer your consciousness.
Email your consciousness over to
that body.
Yeah,
like it's scary, but also like.
Yeah, I mean, it also saves time, right?
Exciting, yeah.
I've never been on a private jet, but I wonder, it still takes some time to fly across the world, right?
Yeah, imagine just plugging in.
That's a second. That's 1 second. That would be cool, yeah. That is the future, huh?
I think there's just too much like ethical concerns there.
A little bit.
Not a little, a lot.
Yeah, because I would rent a body that's not mine, right? I want to be in a cooler
Well,
body.
if it's like a robotic body, right? We're not talking about real bodies.
Yeah, but it would look kind of real, right? Like I want to go for like a Travis Kelce kind of thing.
There would be a lot of like scams.
Yeah, there would be a lot of scams because people would think I'm Travis Kelce.
Oh, I don't think he's gonna allow his body to be like made into a robotic.
Sorry, or I'd look as hot as him. You know.
Wait, that just reminds me that you can choose like a random body.
Exactly.
And like be someone else.
Yeah.
A lot of crimes can happen.
A lot of crimes. But I think I get more women than I do now, right? That would be very cool. That would be very cool.
Well, I guess if they set the law that it has to be your body, like your look.
Yeah.
So like, let's say the robot is like a white figure, and then the moment you connect to it, it turns into you.
Why does it have to be white though?
No, white isn't like it's.
Why white?
Okay, black, whatever.
Okay.
Yellow.
Yeah. The yellow's the one.
Red.
Yeah, like a body that's blank.
Yeah,
right?
a blank body.
And then you go over, and then they make the features.
Yeah, and then they can control like, oh, there's just too many people right now. You gotta wait for your turn.
Yeah, well, then that's waiting. But yes, right.
No, but that's like control, right? Because it's like even with traveling, they have border controls.
Yeah, like with flight and stuff. Yeah, you're right.
I guess it also has like immigration issues too.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks for thinking for the governments out there.
No, but like you gotta there's just so many things to consider. Like it's a great dystopian idea. It's just so much other stuff to consider.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with a lot of these ideas, right? Like we're talking about it sounds amazing, and then we're like, oh, but ethically that might not be right. Oh, what about immigration? Oh, what about yeah. All right, that's all we have. So thanks for watching IRL. Like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below food recommendations. Wherever you are, I will go if the food is good enough. So let me know and let us know what else you want to kind of hear us talk about. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.